All right, so now we will move to our final presentation of the day with Jukka Jalonen, the head coach of the Finnish national team for the men's. Jukka is quite busy preparing for the Olympics coming up in February, so we did record this interview with him yesterday and we'll just be playing the video. But we hope everyone enjoys. There's a lot of good insights from Jukka's career and the learnings that he's had along the way. So let's let Jukka take it away from here.
All right, Jukka, thanks for joining the Coaches Road Conference here. We'll just kind of go through this River of Life activity with you and sort of an interview format. So, you know, the first question for you is just kind of, if your coaching career would take the shape of a river, what kind of twists and turns and rocky patches would you have in that career? And maybe you can go through that a little bit.
I would say that, say about first 10 years in my coaching career, there were lots of twists and turns, and river was pretty stormy. But afterwards, maybe last 20 years, it's been more like a calm river, and nobody can control the river. But I would say that it's been a little bit more silent and not so many storms. I started in Ilves, Tampere. I got fired there, 94. They invited me back the same season, and then I went to first division to Vaasa, and I was in Italy, and I was in Great Britain. So lots of interesting places, and but not so much success. And that was, I think, that stormy part, first 10 years. And 2001, I went to HPK, and that's when I and our teams started to have some success, and the river has been, after that, I think, a little bit more silent and more easy to be in. But you never know. It's like the life, the rivers are always quite unpredictable. You never know what will happen after the next curve, and that's been also in my coaching career.
Yeah, can you just maybe talk a little bit more about the time you spent abroad and away from Finland and Italy and Great Britain, and maybe just how did that go, and just kind of how did you get over to those countries really quickly?
Yeah, it's a really interesting part of my coaching career. Italy, most of the players were amateurs. We practiced quite late in the evening, and we didn't have many players on the ice in practices from 12 to 16 maybe. So it wasn't normal for me as a coach from Finland. We always had a 4 units players, and have to a little bit think different kind of drills and practices, and different language, obviously in Italy, and I go coach in English, but it was challenging. But I like it. It's like the players still they played with passion, and they were pretty coachable. In England, in Great Britain, a little bit different story. The players were all like professionals, and we had a player from different countries, and 3,000 spectators in our home game, for example. So, and the fans, they were very enthusiastic, and I like it there. It was a very good learning experience for me as a person and as a coach. We got into two finals there. Okay, we lost both of them, but anyways, I think it was very important part in my coaching career.
All right, so the next step for this River of Life activity is can you identify the key moments of your career, maybe specifically early on in that first 10 years, as you mentioned, was the kind of rougher patch of the river. Can you identify the key events and happenings that kind of shaped who you would become as a coach today?
Obviously, the first big moment for me was when I was picked up as a coach in Ilves. I was just turned 30, didn't have many, or at least not at all, experience as a coach with men, and I think it started pretty well when in Ilves in Tampere, and first 2 seasons, and but okay, I got fired in the 3rd season. There were lots of changes in management, and but still they got me back after a few months, and but of course it was like a big learning experience. Tough moments when you get fired, and you have to think about what's going on next, and will I find a new job, or what do I have to do, what do I want to do, what I can do anyways in hockey, and then I went Rauma after Tampere, and I was there most of the time as an assistant coach. Jukka was better team than Ilves was, and there were lots of, or more money at least than what Ilves had, and we were in bronze medal in the 1st season, and but you say the way I noticed the players are a little bit better and more experienced, and but it was different when I was an assistant most of the time, and have to like adjust to that role and help the head coach in his job, in his role. Of course, that helped me also as a coach, and then at the same time I was assistant coach in Finnish under 18 national team, and we had a bronze. Actually, we won a gold medal in European Championships, 1995, and I was assistant with for Timo Sutinen, who was a head coach back then, and for me he was a very like how would I say, like actually a big part of my coaching career, and I learned a lot from him. He was more of like a mental coach, and smart with players and good with players, like personally, and simple tactics, but lots of like emphasis in team spirit and how to handle the players, and then Italy and Great Britain. Was I was there one season, and but maybe the biggest learning curves were where things were going tough, and didn't have so much success. What should I do, and should I give up, or should I try again? And I think after those tough situations, tough moments, I got mentally tougher, mentally more strength, and it was easier to handle the like smaller problems or little mistakes or things like that after that.
Speaking specifically about people who have been helping you on your river to overcome certain barriers, have you had any significant people that first of all shaped your pathway, shaped your philosophy, shaped your values, and were provided you with guidance in such tough times?
I have a few friends in hockey, a few coaches with whom I have been in contact with from 90s, and of course, like I told, it's like Timo Sutinen was one of my mentors, older person, and ex national team player, and then I would say it's more like my family, my wife, and a few friends. It's like I've always been to them like not like a coach, just like another person, and they've always supported me when I have had tough times. But then in HPK, Timo Lehkonen, who was assistant back then, we were together 6 years, and then also in national team 2 years, and Harri Lintumäki, he was the big boss back then there, still my friend, he could be my father. Anu Savolainen was in HPK. We are still in contact with each other, and few people in HPK especially have been very good for me and very important part of my career so far.
Well, I just have a quick follow-up to that. You mentioned your family and your friends and how they've helped you, but not seeing you as the coach side of you, just seeing you as the person. Can you speak a little bit more about the impact that had on your coaching and maybe your kind of ability to, I don't know if it's fair to say, but the separation there between the coach you and maybe the you were with the family and the friends?
I started as a young guy from the top, I would say, in Finland, in the league, in SM League. And of course, I'm still a very ambitious guy, and I have lots of passion for hockey. And maybe in the early parts of my coaching life, it was more like only hockey, and other parts of the life weren't that important for me. But during the first 10 years, I understood that there are lots of other things also in life than hockey or your profession. And my friends and my wife, they have, my sister and my mother as well, and my father, when he was alive, it's like they also like I learned from them that I have to like separate those two parts, the life and hockey, and that's what I have done a little bit better, at least. I don't know if I'm very good at it still, but still it's easier for me. And as a coach, it's a lot easier to focus on coaching when you don't think about hockey 24 hours a day, and you have also other life around you, and that's what I have trying to do the last about 20 years. And when you coach, and when you are outside of coaching, you don't think about coaching so much. And of course, you have to take your job to home once in a while and think about certain things there, but not too much. It's very important to forget hockey for a while.
Yeah, you clearly outlined the importance of separating coaching and private life. And when you coach, you said you need to coach. And speaking specifically about coaching overall, and based on your experience and based on the river you have been on, what are essential key skills you have been identified for being a coach and actually helping players to develop in many areas of their life?
First thing I would say is that as a coach, you have to create a relationship with trust for with the players and with other coaches and management team, and you have to be demanding, of course, as a coach, but you have to treat players fairly, and you have to be honest. I think that's what we all respect, if a person is honest, and if he's reliable, if he's fair. That's how I want to work, and I think it's one of my strengths to be and act like that. But it's sometimes quite tough to be fair. For example, it's like, to be honest, it should be easy for everyone, but to be fair, because the players are pretty equal, and you have to give them roles and to be able to use their strengths, and sometimes it's very difficult to make those choices between the players, which one is better and which one is not that good at the moment, and so on. So, but we have statistics, we have videos, we can watch those situations and games and plays. But still, it's tough, and but I have other coaches around, so I can talk to them, and we can make those decisions after conversations. But still, it's one of the toughest part as a coach. Certain coaches would pick some other guys, and myself as a coach, I can pick somebody else. And also in national team when we are building the team for the Olympics, for example. It won't be easy to separate players from each other and to find out which are the best fit for our team and our system.
Yeah, speaking this, we have had also a few discussions about this already, but in your current role, this has, I think, a totally different meaning. So probably we do not know how this feels to make this kind of decisions, because it has a big impact on everyone around. And overall, you have been describing your beginning with Tampere and that you have been fired there, and how this has been shaping you, how certain people have shaped your philosophy, your values, and everything like this. But reflecting back and evaluating on the river you have been on, what values, commitments, causes, or principles were most important to you at a specific given point of your life or in the really tough times?
Like I told, it's like honesty, fairness are the very big values for me and our teams, which I am coaching, and to be proud of ourselves, to be proud in, for example, if I'm coaching Finnish national team, we have to be proud of ourselves. We have to be proud to present Finland and to put jersey on if you are a player, and work ethic is one of big values for me. I have to lead by example. For example, if I demand lots of things from the players and other management, I have to be the first guy to show the way and show good, right examples. And but still, I think it's one thing is that we want to create an atmosphere where everybody else supports and helps each others. When there are tough times, we have to be around and we have to be available, and not only in hockey but also in life in general. So I want to get to know players as well as I can. In national team, it's a lot harder than in the club team, because we don't have lots of meetings or games, tournaments together during the season, and the players are changing all the time. So one thing which we use is when a new player comes into the team, we will send him a simple questionnaire about 10 questions, and we have their answers, and then we will get a little bit more information what kind of especially what kind of persons they are, what are important from them, and where they are coming from, and so on. So it's a little bit easier to start to create a relationship with myself and our coaches with the players when we know a little bit more about them.
Yeah, I think that's quite important. And Jukka, we have one final question for you here to kind of wrap up your river of life. Is there any key messages or key pieces of advice that you would give other coaches that you've learned along your journey and along your river?
One thing I haven't mentioned so far is that trust. As a coach, you have to trust. For example, you have to trust the other coaches in the staff. You have to give them challenging jobs and the roles where they can shine and where they can use their strengths. If you think that you yourself know everything, you won't be very long in the big stage. And okay, it doesn't matter if you are a head coach, but you have to work as a team in a coaching staff. And as a head coach, you will make those maybe final decisions, but you need everybody there, and everybody are important, and they have to feel and they have to know that you have to respect other coaches, you have to respect other management and other staff members, and you have to respect the players. And no matter the role, It doesn't matter if the player is a captain or if he is a player with sometimes healthy scratch. You have to respect them. You have to show that. It's one of the biggest parts as a coach. And then I would say it's like, because there will be always tough moments, tough situations. Try to like, how to say it in English, it's like, you have to have tolerance. You have to have tolerance to handle difficult situations. And if you are like tough enough in those situations, okay, you need help also. You can't do it always yourself, but if you can handle those situations, it's a chance that you can become stronger out of those situations, and you can learn about them. And one more thing is that try to learn all the time. It's like I'm now almost 60, and every day I try to find out something new, and which can help me as a coach in my career, or which can help our players and our team to become better. And there can be simple things. They can be something in the leadership. They can be something in the drills which I run, practices. They can be something in our tactics or team play, game plan, those kind of things. So read, listen, and be open for development, no matter the age.
Yeah. Well, Jukka, thank you very much for joining the conference, and we wish you the best of luck in the Olympics coming up in February, and of course, best of luck with everything in the future. So again, thank you very much, and it was a pleasure to hear a little bit about your river of coaching.
Okay, thanks for having me, and pleasure to be with you guys. Good luck, and have a nice early winter time in Finland.
All right, so that concludes the day for the first ever Coaches Road Conference. So thank you everybody for being here.
Yeah, and also first of all, we want to thank our presenters for taking the time and doing this. So big thanks to, first of all, we had a wonderful start with Anders Wahlström, who spoke about the Swedish home flow model. Really good presentation by Hero about strength and conditioning. Then we were blessed that Tobias took the time and joined us here today. Good presentation by Dr. Satokaski. Fun maps, really good topic. Habermanics. Then Larry, for Dr. Larry Lauer, tough but clean hockey. I know, very important topic to you. And then Ken was able to present today about constraints-led approach. And then now Jukka Jalonen's journey, which we just recorded yesterday. And this was also a very, very insightful presentation, a lot of things to take away from there. And also thanks to the audience who stayed here all the time and who joined, and for all for Viromäki, Hagahilja, and the international coaching, ICCE, and for our sponsor Coach Tools as well.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the nail, Rick. We had some great presentations today, and the best thing about how we approach things with a growth mindset and a week in between conference days is now we have some time to meet and prepare and figure out the kinks for the rest of the 2 days. And I think that's going to be, we're going to have a lot of fun the next 2 days as we follow up this day. So yeah, really interesting. And I can't wait to get better at it.
Yeah, and especially because you mentioned this growth mindset, and that's the beauty about how we structured our conference, that we have 3 Thursdays. So if anyone has been listening several presentations, please send us an email or DM or on Twitter, wherever you can find us. We would really appreciate hearing some feedback about how you like the entire process, the presentations, and everything around the designing of this event.
Yeah, for sure. We want to make it as useful for everybody as possible. So please just let us know if we can improve in any way for next week. With that in mind, please share this to your coaching networks. We want to make this as widespread as possible. We were blessed to have over 100 people registered for today. And just during this event today, we had a lot more registrants for the next 2 days. So please continue to share this to your coaching network, and we can continue to have some great discussions around some really important topics in coaching. with our presenters today. If you have any questions for them, anything you'd like for us to dive deeper into with each individual, please let us know. As I said in the beginning, we have the opportunity to dive deeper into these concepts with our podcast. So in the new year, we can record episodes with these presenters and just go deeper into this information and really make it a longer and more impactful. Not to say that these weren't impactful, because they were, but yeah. And that's, I think, it for us here from the Coaches Road. So thank you again for joining us on our first day, and we will see everybody again next week.